So let's go ahead and just hit record now so that it locks it into not going into a fucking save menu.
Special extra stuff for Marty to cut out.
He thinks he's cutting it out.
That's true. I mean, he should.
Should. No, I'll just edit around it and I'll make it sound weird.
Just auto-tune everything at this point.
Oh no.
That was one of the best things from the old Rooster Teeth podcast was there was a time when they had theme songs that people would send in. Instead of having a theme song for the show, they would just have a new theme song every week. Mm-hmm. And when they talked about it, I can't even remember who it was. It was like, I'm gonna be auto-tuned, and then that just became one of the most popular clips to shove into the theme song. Like, I'm gonna be auto-tuned. I'm gonna be auto-tuned. It was between that and Bernie going, God, send him the theme song. For a second, I thought he was just preparing by just chugging a beer beforehand.
I wouldn't waste a beer like that.
I mean, haven't you? Haven't done like I need alcohol for this.
I've definitely drank. I don't chug beer like that though.
Oh, I see. I see what you mean.
He'd specifically have hard seltzer for that.
Yes. I mean, it is Baywatch nights. It would have to be Zima, right?
What? Whoa.
What?
A chess robot in Moscow broke its opponent's finger.
A what robot?
A chess robot.
A chess robot.
Broke its opponent's finger.
That's...
Checkmate. That sounds like something out of a Venture Brothers cartoon.
It really does.
Why you not go in? There it goes. Alright.
Oh yeah, I just remembered. Did you see that there was there's an anime adaptation for Biscuit Hammer?
Oh, really? I didn't.
Yeah.
Is it out?
It looks like it's out. I've just seen clips.
Oh
of it.
shit! Hell yeah, that one's great.
The animation honestly looks pretty shit.
Oh god, the little kid too. Oh jeez.
That's too bad. That series really needs a good adaptation.
Oh jeez, look at this. So there's the robot. Come on, play. Oh, it doesn't like to play when it's.
Oh,
yeah.
Now you got performance anxiety.
And look, he moves and just grabs him. Yeah!
They're freaking out. They're like, "What? How did?"
Yeah.
This is why we just use the computer.
Robots were a bad idea.
Yeah, that got really weird really quick.
Why did we need to add a mechanical arm to this equation?
Well, it's supposed to play like multiple people at once, and it just was like, fuck this kid in particular. See, look, it's got 4 things. He's like, I'll remove this. And he's, no, fuck you, chomp.
People are like, what?
Yeah, the robot's eating the kids again.
Who's it with robots and maiming children?
We need to happen more often.
That's what they do best. Okay, there we go. Alright. So, early on, like right away, we see the German title for this one.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's so this episode is the strike.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And the German title is Der Blitz. So, I mean, they did.
It is better.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
They're both. I mean, they're they're pretty much neck and neck as far as.
Yeah, but the German one is just more descriptive and accurate.
Yeah, I mean, for all we know, the strike could have just been about the waitstaff at nights just going on strike, which would have been a better episode.
It would have been a better episode. One of them turns out to be a werewolf. You know.
Yeah.
How you do.
You can't work on full moon.
Yeah.
So
Part of the contract.
We get a very Baywatch cold open here. The knights are not involved yet. It's just Hoff in the tower, checking out what's going on. He sees this dude who basically looks like he has no idea what a boogie board is or how it functions.
Yeah.
So Hoff's like, dipshit radar just immediately goes off.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he's a lifeguard. He's somebody who apparently doesn't know what water looks like.
Yeah. He walks up to it and he like picks up the boogie board and he's like, let me strap the strap on the wrist here. And he's like standing fully upright. And Hoff's like, all right, how's this gonna turn out?
Yeah, it is a sequence that takes a bit too long, though.
Yeah, it is. They're padding for time here a little bit, and then he just like, the guy. It's not even like a run. He just like goes forward and then just immediately just eats shit in the water.
Yeah.
He gets nowhere, and just gets a mouthful of it immediately. And so Hoff goes out to save him in what? I don't know, knee-deep water?
At best. At best.
It's when the swell is in, it's knee-deep. Otherwise, you're looking at mid-calf. Mm-hmm. This guy is drowning in water that's no deeper than a standard person's socks. And so, like, Hoff picks him up, he's, like, trying to talk him up a little bit. Says, let's take a break. And then, catch your breath, and then I'll show you some pointers on how not to just immediately drown. And then they do like a handshake, and then as they're shaking hands, lightning strikes the water behind them, but like in between them, so it's like a low shot of them shaking, and then right in the middle behind them, lightning strikes in the water.
They get zappy zaps.
And they get zappy zaps. And then it's Freaky Friday. No, I was kidding. I wanted it to be Freaky Friday.
Yeah, that would have been good.
I wanted this weirdo to be Hoff all episode long, and Hoff have to act as this weirdo.
Yeah, that could be good.
Instead, all the proteins in their muscles dissolved, as would really happen.
Yeah, I think Freaky Friday night.
Freaky Friday nights would be pretty good. Yeah. Well, you could even have a whole thing where where the dude where the guy has to deal with the whole Angie relationship issue
Mm-hmm.
with the Hoff.
Mm-hmm.
And so he doesn't know the boundaries.
Yeah.
But
He doesn't know how pissed off to be at Teague all the time.
Right. He doesn't know who Teague is, so he's not pissed off at him.
And there's more vibes of people just fucking hate Teague in this episode too. No, I don't think anybody likes him.
Anyway.
So next they're in the hospital. Hoff wakes up. Angie's there. She gets to explain to him.
You got zapped, dummy.
Yep. And Jake is the other guy who was the weirdo who just ate shit in the water. Yeah, his name's Jake. And Hoff can hear Jake's thoughts now.
Mm-hmm.
At least when Jake wants him to. Sometimes.
Sometimes he can hear his thoughts.
Yeah.
But not between 8 and 9. That's Willie's time.
He also, I'm just going to explain this now, even though it comes up more later. He also it comes up a little bit right now. He gets like emotional feedback too. It's a lot of empathic powers. With
little bit of telepathy.
A little bit of telepathic powers, yeah.
Yeah.
He's like what, 3/4 beta?
Something like that. I think he starts remarking that he's scared, right? Isn't that it?
First he catches a stray thought from Jake.
Right.
Where like Jake thinks he's gonna kill me, and then Hasselhoff says something to him, and then like Andy's like, "What? What's going on?"
Nobody said anything, dude.
Yeah. And he's like, no, Jake did right now. And then Jake's like, just like, fucking like, ixnay on the aughts thing.
Yeah.
I'm motioning to him. And so, like, Jake's dad shows up. Jake's quote-unquote dad. Who just, real creeper, doing a lot of eye acting.
Yeah.
He looks like he doesn't need those eye things from Clockwork Orange. Like, he just has that going on all the time.
Yeah, real bug-eyed.
Yeah. And there's some more stuff of Jake,
More thought.
Yeah, more
thought whispers.
Yeah. And then when they're outside, because the dad just like fucking picks up Jake, they're just gone. Lightning strikes over, so let's leave this joint. And outside, he's just like telling him that, he's admonishing him about like not listening. And then he starts the car with like a Jedi mind trick hand motion thing.
Yeah,
like,
he does a weird thing. He just like touches the hood of the car.
Yeah.
Not the hood,
the roof.
The roof of the car.
Yeah. Just is like, and then it's like, boom.
So you already know he's some sort of magic man.
Yeah. And then inside the hospital, Hoff is like getting like scared. He's worried. He's feeling worried and like scared now. He doesn't know why. And so this is the first moment where we notice now. Cold open's over. This one's only 6.5 minutes.
Yes.
Cold open.
They scale back the cold open.
Yeah, it's only 1/7 of the runtime instead of 1/6 of the runtime.
Wow.
Yeah. And so when we get back, this is one of my favorite. It turns out they're going back and forth, but at first we just see Jake is at a house. End of scene.
Yeah.
Now we're with the Hoff.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's literally just show like a couple seconds of Jake at a house.
He's just sort of hanging out.
Yep.
In this house.
So you had to establish that he lives in a house or something.
And then we cut to Angie at nights. She comes in and sees Hoff, and she's like, "What are you doing here?" And I'm assuming she's surprised because no one goes to the office above nights anymore.
There's that, and also he was just struck by that.
This is literally the first time this season we've been in this office.
Yeah, true. The namesake of the show.
Yeah. And so then we cut back. Now it goes back to Jake. And he's got an Adidas shoebox. And he pulls out an LA Dodgers hat. And now we cut back to Hoff. And so Hoff then mentions that if the Dodgers would have won another game, they could have made the playoffs. And he's like, why the fuck am I thinking about the Dodgers? And it's like, nobody gives a shit about the Dodgers. And then, and now it's cutting back and forth between Hoff and Jake pretty rapidly.
And then Jake pulls out the magazine.
And then Hoff's like, oh yeah, I love titties.
I was gonna go, oh yeah, Better Homes and Gardens.
The titties on that garden. You make do with what you got. No. And so
Sears catalog.
Such affordable prices.
Yeah, power tool section. Really driller. So we get like a lot of back and forth now. And Hoff starts like getting the shakes. He's getting the Jake shakes.
Yeah.
And he's like fucking all over the place. Jake sees some cars pulling up outside the house, and people are getting out. And one guy, the camera kind of focuses on in particular. Looks like, I described him as the worst Jesse the Body Ventura impersonator ever.
Yeah, no, that's fairly close.
And then I referred to him the rest of the way until we got to his name in my notes as Jesse the Mustache Inglewood.
I mean, yeah, that's about as good as you
get. Yeah, it's like he's definitely designed his look off of Jesse the Body. He's bald,
the
mustache,
face, anyway.
he's got like the steely eyes of Jesse the Body Ventura.
It's just he doesn't do.
He does not have the body.
He put none of the work down below.
Yeah,
it stops at the neck. Is really what it is.
Yeah,
I don't even think it goes to the neck, frankly.
Yeah, like
I just get the image of like the little the one episode of The Simpsons with the Krusty the Clown where they're looking for him, and it's just Krusty as like a little dwarf dancing.
it's like
just the head is the same size, and that's it.
Instead of the entire sexual Tyrannosaurus, you just get the little hands.
Yeah. It's like you see like big body muscle builder dude with like a baby face, right? Mm-hmm. It's like this is like the inverse of that.
Yeah.
Effectively.
It's basically like
he's just tall and lanky.
If you took Jesse the Body Ventura from Predator and then switched places with him and Captain America from the first movie and then watched Captain America backwards, this is what would come out of the machine.
We have found the Nerdifier.
Yeah.
Only I, Professor Geekenstein.
He totally got hit with the dweeb serum.
Yeah, he really. Yeah. I could see that being a thing in the MCU, like for Thor, where he goes in the machine and it just makes him into a fucking nerd.
That should have been how he got in shape. He just goes in the machine, but nothing actually, like nobody does anything. He just closes the door, then opens it, and now he's in shape.
No, Thor?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that'd be good too. I would like that. Anyway.
Yeah, so Hoff is crying like he just got dumped at the prom. Now he is like on the ground.
Oh yeah, and Jake's reaction to these people is fear, by the way.
Yeah, he is, like, he's freaking out, man. And so Hoff is just crying. He's just sitting on the ground with like his head buried in his knees, and Angie finds him, and she's like, "Okay, you gotta go to the hospital. This isn't normal Hoff situation."
Yeah.
And Hoff is like, "I don't know what's going on. These emotions, I don't know how to feel them."
Hoff doesn't.
I've never felt this fear before.
Yeah.
Hoff knows no fear or sadness.
Yeah. This emotion of fear confuses and angers Hoff. And this is notable because Angie and Hoff have not given up on the series yet. They are acting their asses off here. Yeah. Hoff's really bringing it. I've never seen Hoff try so hard.
This is about as hard as he's ever tried. This is accurate.
Yeah. And so Jake's creeping around the house now, and he like sneaks up to like a little, not like a normal door, but like one of those little like
sliding door.
Yeah, that's the word, sliding.
And into the secret meeting of these weirdos that are that went into his house.
Yep.
And by the way, Jake's like on the younger side, so
yeah.
Ostensibly, the other dude was his father. And
yeah. He looks like the age that what's his name? The current person playing Spider-Man always looks.
Oh yeah.
Holland.
Yeah. You know how like he always looks like he's like 19.
Yeah, he looks 19, maybe 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, he's watching the group talking, and they're like, and now Jesse the Mustache is basically like, no, this has gone too far. We have to protect the group now. And then Jake's thinking like, they're gonna kill me, and then Hoff's like, they're gonna kill him. And
yeah, the group does basically say like, oh yeah, he's exposed us too much.
Yeah,
we need to kill this Jake.
Yep. They're like, we're gonna fucking murder the shit out of Jake. So, and then when Hoff can't telepath without talking out loud. He reads while moving his lips. Is basically what happens.
Yeah.
And so and when he's telepathing, he doesn't just say, he yells too.
Yeah.
So, like, he gets the thought, and then he yells at the thought, and then Angie's like, what are you doing? And so Hoff's just yelling at Jake, just run away, I'll find you. You stay alive, I will find you. Mm-hmm. And then Hoff just runs out and gets into his SUV. And
starts driving around to find him while talking to him with his brain.
yeah, and he's driving like a real asshole too.
A real asshole.
Yeah.
Just all over the fucking road.
And Jake is a telepath, but he's terrible at telling you where he is.
He's kind of bad at just relaying information. Frankly, in general.
Yeah, he's not good at it. Angie calls up the Hoff. She's crying. She's like, okay, you gotta go to a hospital.
You're fucking crazy.
Yeah, I think your brain got melted by lightning. He's like, no. He's like, you go to the hospital, and you get them to tell you all the private information on the kid who got struck by lightning, because the hospital will definitely share that with you. And now she's gonna be, again, this is another episode where she's relegated to the computer for a little bit. Not as much, though. So, the one who was previously Jesse the mustache is evidently called the Porter. And
that's the name they give him.
Yeah,
though it's more of a title.
Yeah, they give titles to these wackadoos. So the Porter finds Jake and uses his brain to set off fireworks in a trash can.
Yeah. It's unusually quick. Like as soon as he mentions that he's being chased by the Porter,
yeah,
he's fucking behind him.
Yeah,
and he sets off those fireworks real good.
Yeah, he uses his Snapdragon fireworks, and then Jake Scooby Doo runs away. Mm-hmm. He practically yells zoinks. Like I can't remember what exactly he makes as a noise, but it's basically zoinks. Hoff runs into traffic. He found out like what street Jake is on, but not where exactly on the street. And I think it's like Washington, so it's like a fucking long ass street in LA. And so Hoff's hoping he's going the right way, but he just ditches his car, just gets out, starts running.
Yeah, some other car is broken down on the road, so he can't get around him.
Yeah, so he just leaves his car there too. It's like, let them deal with that. I'm never gonna mention this car again the rest of the episode. Now he's just running down the street, yelling out loud, looking like the absolute craziest person ever.
Yeah.
And nobody fucking... They don't even add, like, what's that guy or anything.
Nope.
No, that would have been...
well, considering where they are. A crazy dude running down the street.
I know, but at the same time, like, you would think they would have the extra, but, like, they're not paying for those extras anymore in this show.
No, they're done with that.
Yeah. There's no bike wizards anymore. That's
why they're going to secluded area number 5.
Yeah. Oh man, So he's just fucking running down the street now, and he tells Jake to hide. He just mentally tells him to hide, and like, and then Hoff like cuts down an alley and just finds Jake. Jake's there. Jake's like, the Porter's coming, and Hoff is seriously in trouble because they're nowhere near the water. Hoff's like, all right, let me try to talk to him. Just get away. Let me see if I can,
reason with this guy.
Yeah. And then so Hoff walks up to the guy, and the guy uses more mental fireworks, and then slowly pushes a dumpster at him with his brain. It's really great because of all the things they do with this mental power, most of it is sparky fireworks and trash can manipulation.
Yeah, mostly sparky fireworks.
Yeah,
but also wherever people throw garbage, that's where they're gonna move.
Exactly, and they're not gonna do it quickly. This dumpster's gonna go 5 miles an hour?
Oh yeah.
It's about the speed of a Power Wheel. Mm-hmm. Power Wheel in second gear, though.
Oh yeah. It's one of the.
Yeah, it's got 12 volt.
It's one of those 12-volt ones.
Yeah. It's got 2 seats in this bad boy. You can fit so many toddlers in this bad boy.
Yep.
So.
As you do.
Yeah. So they find an old, they run out of the alley. The trash can can go no further because there's a fence. And they find an old abandoned car It's like a convertible. And Hoff's like, no, I need a car that can run. And then Jake does the touch it and make it go.
Yeah.
Power. And now Angie is doing her shtick for the season where she's on the computer just looking shit up. And Teague comes in. And Angie immediately basically just tells Teague to fuck off. Mm-hmm. She's like, I don't have time for your bullshit, Teague. Hoff's brain is melted.
And he's obsessed with the child.
Yeah. And Teague is like, he's just fucking, he has no boundaries here. He's not giving up. And Teague, of course, like always, is A, an asshole, and B, knows everything that's going on. Remember when it was freaking Donna who just waltzed her way into shit and just knew everything?
Uh-huh.
Now it's Teague.
Yeah. Well, see, I mean, yeah, like I said, and somehow it's way more obnoxious with Teague. Probably just because he knows stuff and isn't helpful, whereas Donna was like trying to help.
Yeah.
And it's not that she just knew everything; she just was immediately good at it.
Yeah, as you told her what to do, and then she succeeded wildly.
Yeah.
Teague knows everything except for how to be personable, or have any charisma whatsoever.
Or be useful at all to.
Yeah, to do anything other than just be an asshole. So yeah, he's like, okay, what's going on? He basically just wants to meet up with them now.
Is this where he says? Is this where he talks about like what he knows about
the
little group, or is that later?
No, that's later. This now he's just saying like, oh, okay. He knows that when Andy talks about him getting struck by lightning, he's like, has there been any increase in alpha waves or any telepathy and she's like, yeah.
And then that made me laugh.
Yeah.
He's just immediately like, oh yeah, alpha waves, telepathy.
Yeah. And she said before he was just 100% convinced that Hoff's brain was melted. Yeah, it's a real weird jump there where she just once Teague mentions anything about it, she's all on board.
Well, to be fair to her, she knows Teague's involved now. She's like, ah, shit. Hoff is right.
Yeah. And Angie does have the power to bullshit her way through anything and be correct now.
Also true. Yeah.
So if she just goes along with it, it's gonna be true.
Yeah. Also, yeah, that's a good point.
So Hoff and Jake are in the car. And Jake's like, okay, where are you taking me? Hoff's like, I'm going to take you to some people. They'll be able to keep you safe. And Jake's like, nope, they're not. It's not going to work. And he just touches the car, turns it off. And then, like, the porter is, like, coming down the street, opposite direction. So I'm not sure how this chase worked out geographically.
It doesn't really make sense.
No, it doesn't. But here he is coming the other way. And Hoff's like, all right, you gotta turn this back on. And so Jake just turns the car back on, and they just drive away. And then they just show them in the car, just kind of looking around awkwardly and driving. It was a really weird scene. Like, they just kind of looked around like, okay, what do we do next?
Yeah. Line?
Yeah. And then they pull up to, like, this abandoned... It's not... I don't know if it's actually abandoned. It's abandoned for the purpose of the shoot. Industrial area.
Oh yeah. It sure as hell seems abandoned.
Yeah, it might be the warehouse that the Bad Blades took place in. I'm not positive.
Yeah, could be. Ever since the Bad Blade is.
Yeah, no one can set foot there. Angie and Teague pull up to the house that Jake was at, and Teague is super excited because he's never been this close. He's like, I never had an address before. And Angie is just kind of confused as Teague just walks up and just picks the lock and just opens the door. Back with Jake and Hoff. Hoff finds a payphone and goes to use it, and the cord's just all fucked up. It's all frayed and jacked up. It's still technically connected.
But the wires are hanging out of the little metal cord that they had.
Yeah. And so Jake uses his mind powers, and I thought he would just grab the cord and then it would just work, and it would just make sense that way. And instead, he grabs the cord and just uses the power of his mind to just melt the entire thing back together. Which doesn't seem like it would work well as a cord anymore.
Yeah, I would think that would fuck it up.
Yeah, that seems like it would make it worse and not better. All the connections are connected now. Why didn't we make the wire out of one solid cable? It seems to work better that way.
It's one big cable. That way it just gets all the information through.
That's bandwidth right there. That's broadband. That's what you're looking at. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he just melts it back together, and then and now it works. And then Hoff's like, "You got a quarter?" And then he just fucking does his Fawn's trick on the...
Yeah, he just taps it.
Yeah.
It works.
He's like, "Hey." And so this is where Hoff was like, "Have you ever been to Vegas?" Like, it seems like it worked out good. So, at the house, Angie and Teague find this weird body crash thing.
Yeah, it's like in a closet.
Yeah.
Something. And they find out it's basically just like a. It is basically the same thing as the beds that the coneheads would lay in. That is vertical, a little vertical human slot.
Yeah. You know what's funny is I have coneheads written about 4 sentences later. And it's not for this part, but this part 100% should have been the part. But I think this part implanted coneheads in my brain.
That would make sense. Because around this part is where T starts talking about how basically what he knows about the situation and how they're. He doesn't say aliens. I think he says
visitors.
Visitors. Right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, they're visitors, so they're aliens.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Does he have the little curly hair that's all up?
But they're like weird. But they are aliens in the style of Conehead, in that they have weird, mysterious energy powers in addition to telepathy, which is presumably how they do.
They can melt phone cords.
Which is presumably how they start cars and melt phone cords.
It's the best power of all. Yeah, so Angie immediately thinks this is just like a fucking murder station. Like, you just plug a body in here and suck the life out. Which I actually like the idea of.
Yeah.
And
Suck.
And Teague's like, no, it's an energy station. They need... This is how they rejuvenate their energy.
So he's actually an alien. That's how he knows this, right?
I think Teague's supposed to be a man in black.
He's something
But he
like
never
that.
wears black, which is kind of lame.
That's because he's an undercover man in black, so
That's
he doesn't
true.
wear the uniform.
So he's like the man in Game Boy Green or whatever he's wearing.
He's a plainclothes man in black, which kind of defeats the purpose. Once again, Teague has mysterious knowledge, and we don't know how or why.
Maybe he's the Lovecraftian man in black.
I mean, that fits to a certain extent. He's a fucking asshole.
Like, at first, I thought Teague was supposed to be like the like obscure librarian type guy who's just read about everything.
Right, the guy who knows about all the weird stuff.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, well, maybe he'd have to consult, especially since in the opening they show a book. So I was like, oh, maybe he has he's supposed to be a worldly man. Maybe he has a collector of these old obscure texts.
Yeah, it also makes sense. It made sense for given his introduction to where Donna's all like, oh, he travels constantly. So it would make sense for him to be Indiana Jones type, but except with supernatural bullshit.
Yeah, instead he's just an asshole.
Instead he's just a fucking prick.
Yeah, so Hoff calls Angie, and I guess they're...
Calls her what?
And I guess they're at the Old Hughes factory plant, which they just plugged words together. It's like the Vincent and Daltman business factory. and Hoff says a very fun phrase here. He says where he is, and he says he's up to his ass in alligators.
Oh right, I forgot about that.
Yeah. So Teague wants to talk to Hoff, and Hoff's like, why?
Hoff does not want to talk to Teague.
No. He's like, God damn it. Why is Teague with you? No one likes Teague. And...
Except Donna.
I literally have, I think everyone hates Teague written down. Because he just doesn't want to talk with Teague either. But Teague gives him a rendezvous. He's like, okay, that's where you are. Head to this hangar down there. We'll meet you up there. And then Angie, like, Teague wants to go alone. Angie's like,
says,
no.
Fuck you.
No. She's like, there needs to be somebody with charisma in this ride along. So then Hoff basically has... he finally just forces Jake to tell him at least a little bit about what's going on. And it's basically sounds like the plot of Coneheads. Where they've crash landed on Earth, and then they have pretended to be a family since then. So, I mean, I think the people just watched Coneheads and then wrote this episode.
Yeah, it certainly feels like it.
Astronauts to the moon.
It's like a little bit. It's like a little bit Coneheads, a little bit ET.
And the thing is, they also they do like the, not to the extreme of Coneheads, but they definitely do the I don't know how to work as a person movements, and it's not to the same extent, but there's definitely no alienation in this. It's way more Coneheads than alienation.
Yeah.
And so the porter's coming again, and Hoff tries to get Jake to head to the rally point, and Hoff's gonna try some shit, and then his shit doesn't work immediately. We get more mental fireworks, and then Hoff basically just turns around and runs away. They get up to like a roof, and for some reason he's already seen this guy can light fireworks off with his brain and push dumpsters at a relatively intimidating speed.
Yeah.
So he's finally had enough of this bullshit and decides to just pull off there's like a big handle, like a big metal handle from some valve or something.
Yeah, he just grabs basically a length of metal.
And he's
it out.
and Jake's like this. He's like, this dude can do all sorts of fucking shit, and I was like, I'm pretty resourceful myself. He just grabs a big ass thing and just walks towards the guy, and he's just full of confidence because I guess he's wearing his Adidas murder jacket, and that's all the power he needs. He does not realize he is so far from the water right now. It's a terrible idea. So he walks forward, he immediately gets his ass handed to him. It's not even a fight. He just walks up, gets his shit pushed in, and then thrown off a building.
I forget, what does the porter do in the fight? Is this the fight where he shows off his that he's stronger than he looks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does not have the body of Jesse the Body, but he has the strength of Jesse the Body.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's supernaturally strong just by being a skinny dude.
Yeah. So he immediately gets thrown off a building.
Yeah, choke slams the Hoff.
Yeah. And Jake catches him right before he hits the ground.
With his mind power.
Yep, with his mind power. And also probably a safety harness.
Yeah.
And so they're like, alright, well fuck, that didn't go well. So now Hoff's like, alright, we just gotta run. So they head towards the car, and as soon as they open the door, the car just gets exploded. So I'm guessing there's probably mental fireworks in the gas tank, but I'm not positive. So now we're back with Angie and Teague, and so then now they're at this this hangar that Teague has told them to meet them at, and he's basically had time for, I guess, some weird lab techs to set up a greenhouse in there.
Yeah, they have some weird. They have a weird little probing room, basically, that they made.
So it's seemingly it's supposed to be like a clean room situation.
Yeah.
Where it's like a clear plastic tent that's supposed to isolate what's ever in there.
Yeah, this dude's walking around in those bodysuit.
But it's not sealed properly. There's just flaps flapping around. And there's no airlock to it or anything.
The top looks open, I think.
Yeah. So it's just it looks like somebody set up a greenhouse inside.
Yeah.
And there's like a hospital bed in there. And Teague wants to lock the kid in this backyard greenhouse. And this is where we get the explanation of where they came from, which is bonkers to me. This is in an episode of nonsense, this is possibly the dumbest part to me. Because he's like, oh, something crashed in Roswell, New Mexico in 1990. So you're telling me that this is either the second UFO crash in Roswell, because the first one was in like the 50s. Or in this one, is the Roswell incident supposed to only take place in the 90s? Is that the divergent path between the future of Baywatch and us?
One wonders.
Because if you're going to make it a crash in Roswell, why not make it the Roswell crash? And if it's not the Roswell crash, why put it in Roswell, New Mexico?
Yeah, it could be anywhere.
Exactly. It could have been in Ventura. Or Inglewood. Or Oxnard. Anywhere. There's all sorts of dumb places in California.
New Mexico.
No, they crashed in Roswell, New Mexico, and then went to the beach for some reason. He wasn't supposed to go in the water, but they moved from Roswell to like fucking Malibu or whatever.
Yeah. No,
why? It makes no sense. There's no reason that these assholes should be here if they crashed in Roswell 6 years ago. Because we are in 1996 at this point. So yeah, that's where these aliens came from. And then, back with Jake, he explains to the Hoff that the aliens get their energy from electricity and stuff like that. Because he says electricity, but like also other stuff. And Hoff's like, electricity, huh? So, yeah, his ears prickle up at the electricity thing. And then Porter finds him again and just immediately resumes right where he left off, and just starts kicking Hoff's ass again. And then Jake runs over and distracts the Hoff because they're like in an open area. And this is also, there was a part where the Porter did that thing kind of like Watson from that one Sherlock Holmes video game where they would turn around and then just pop up somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kept doing that for a little bit before he starts kicking their ass again. But Hoff's getting his ass kicked. Jake distracts him. So the Porter starts walking towards Jake now. And then Hoff runs over and sees some pipes and a button. And he runs over there and then yells at the Porter, "No, over here, dummy!" And so then Porter turns back around and starts walking towards Hoff. And then Hoff hits the button. And now he's unlocked his ultimate power because this water just shoots out of the pipes. And so now we know, oh, fuck, Porter's fucked now.
Yeah,
there's water here.
He's like, nowhere near water, huh? That's
Yep.
what he thought.
Yep. And then Hoff, motions to Jake. He's like, "Jake," and points to a power line. And so Jake downs the power line with his brain. And the line hits the water. And then we get the fun lightning effect on the Porter. Mm-hmm. Where he gets the lightnings all over him. Looks like he's going to quantum leap for a second.
Yep.
And then, his chest explodes, but not his entire chest. It's not like it just bursts open. It's like he has a little pocket battery that just blows, and then that's it. He just falls over. And then Hoff and Jake are looking at each other, "Yay, we did it!" But Jake doesn't move. He's just hanging out there, smiling like a dumbass. And then the water just slowly leaks over towards his feet.
I was so irritated by that. Just move, you son of a bitch.
No, he's too busy making dumb eyes at Hoff. And so the water gets to Jake, and of course Jake gets electrocuted, and his little pocket battery explodes too. But then he's not as dead as the Porter. He's hanging on. Mm-hmm. So Hoff grabs him, carries him over to where they were supposed to meet up, which is the lab that they set up. And so they bring Jake into the little greenhouse. Mm-hmm. And then Angie and Hoff are waiting outside. So this is probably right after commercial break because they're just outside suddenly. And Teague walks up to him, tells him, he's going to make it. They're going to take him to a special facility in Roswell. And Angie and Hoff are like, no, fuck that shit, we're going in. And Jake immediately, like, this is another dumb spot. This is another real dumb thing to me.
Is it with the little handle with the hook that you put it to the nose? And...
So Jake calls Hoff over mentally. He's like, Hoff, over here. Need to talk. And then Hoff asks, can I have a moment alone with him? And Teague's like, sure. And then Hoff walks in, and then they just talk like people. And it's like, if you wanted a private conversation, why not use the telepathic link you have to the guy? And so he tells Hoff that he's going to go home now. And so...
He doesn't want to stay and get cut up.
Yeah. And he's just like, I'm just going home now. And then you're like, what, is that a thing you can do? And then he tells Hoff that he's got to, get out and, not look because the light's going to get too bright. And so Hoff, walks out, and then they turn on the extra bright spotlight in there. And Teague's like, no! And Hoff, tearfully, just kind of, waves goodbye, kind of.
Yeah.
He's just, oh. And then back at night in the office, Angie's trying to fill in all the plot holes of that last scene raised in your head. Wait, if they could just go home, why were they here? And Hoff's like, I don't think he went home. I just think he was dying and he didn't want to tell me. So, yeah, and then he just goes outside and just stares up at the stars and then just cries a little bit. And
There's a Shooting Star, I think, is one of them.
And then credits.
Yeah.
Have we found this season's Blues Boy?
No.
I think this one's close to average.
Yeah, it's
A little bit better
this
than
one
some
might
seasons.
this one might be the season's Bad Blades.
The one that's lower than it should be, perhaps.
Yeah, I could see
You can set right with once in a while with a bad blade.
Yeah. There's some goofball shit in here. Some of the editing choices are really kind of weird.
But there's also it's also just it has fun stuff too.
Yeah.
There's dumb mind powers, and they They do stuff to make the aliens weird.
Yeah. You know what a good way to actually describe the aliens is coneheads mixed with come in peace. That's the combination you really get.
They go in pieces.
Yeah, kind of, except for it's just light.
Yeah.
But you get as many spark showers in this as you get in I Come in Peace. They don't get the little CD projectile device, but...
Unfortunately.
Yeah, that would have really boosted the rankings up a bit, I think.
Yeah.
Instead you get the slow dumpster. The dumpster really made me laugh.
It's pretty funny.
Because if it shoots at you, then that's a real big problem.
Because it's a dumpster.
Yeah.
Hurt.
If it's shoved at you with a good speed, then you run from it. This is a dumpster that they basically had to turn around and walk briskly away from.
Yeah.
It's just it's a real shit show of a dumpster, I gotta say. Yeah, there's they did get reasonable weird looking dudes to be the aliens.
Uh-huh.
They're not just straight bonkers looking. They just look a little off. Which was probably fairly easy for them to do. We just need some people who are not quite who don't quite look right on camera. It's probably an easy casting choice. It's just you hold auditions and you pick the third best guy, and then that's how they got these guys.
Yes, that's about right. Pay him appropriately.
Yeah. Yeah.
How many people here are willing to work for scale? Okay, and less than that.
So
No.
we have have like a 5, right?
The rig we put at 5.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. This is like
3.5.
I think it's higher than that. I think it's like 4.5.
So so the question is how much better do we think it is than Terror of the Deep?
Where's Terror of the Deep at?
That's at a 3. It might be closer to Terror of the Deep than the rig. We could just split the difference and call it a 4.
Yeah, let's go with that. I think that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Creature is still our high mark of the season so far. And we'll call this one 4. Solid 4.
Solid 4s.
Yep. So, up next, we have Circle of Fear. Predictions on Circle of Fear.
Is it kind of like Circle of Iron?
See, at this point, I guess vampires so many times. Or just keep on guessing vampires.
One of these days you're going to be right.
And one of these I should be right. Because last time I was like,
I'm gonna go with Coven, Witch's Circle.
no, that's pretty good. I like that. I'm gonna continue with the joke/not joke answer of vampires.
All right, so Marty's at least probably pretty close.
Yeah.
It's hard to say. I mean, this one was supposedly related to the Roswell incident, and it said it's a Roswell incident. This one is Hoff and Angie investigate reports of black arts being committed in the woods and find a book of strange incantations they trace to an occult bookshop. So this is their Satanic Panic episode, I'm thinking.
They're gonna all play D&D.
And then go get lost in the sewers and never see them again.
I think there's an episode later that is actually about something similar to D&D. This one seems like...
Bring Tom Hanks in, he just stumbles out. Just stumbles out of the woods, just looking crazy.
It is harried.
Just gonna walk down an alley with a knife out, going.
Mm-hmm.
So this almost sounds like it would be, and this was before I hadn't read this description yet. This almost sounds like what we wanted Teague to be involved with. A bookshop that had old occult texts in it.
Yeah, no, it does sound a little bit like that.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, this is what we want Destiny to be involved.
Well, yeah.
Involved in, but it does sound like what
Yeah.
Teague should have been involved in, so at least something like it.
Yeah. Like, what should have happened was Destiny, A, should have never left. Should have been there the whole time.
Agreed.
B, season 2, she should have, like, inherited her weird aunt's, like, fucking shop of weird mystery bullshit. Yeah. And then she should just be, like, pulling shit out of there.
They should have done Friday the 13th, the series, this bullshit.
Uh-huh.
Because she's just been like, oh, wait, no, I think I've heard a thing about that. And it's like, oh, look, I just found this thing. I found this book on a Jogan. and this audio tape of their growls.
It's like I found this book about Jogan, and it's like it's weird. It's like it's called The Fiercest Monster from the Fiercest Culture. Like what a weird title.
Yeah, that sounds kind of racist.
It's a little racist, yeah.
Yeah. Instead, we get Teague. I do like how everybody is already fed up with Teague's bullshit in the show.
No, yeah, no. I have to wonder if they just responded to like viewers not liking Teague, because I can't see how any viewer would like Teague.
Yeah, he's objectively the worst.
Mm-hmm.
Griff not in this episode, but his name was kind of on a door. I guess that counted as him appearing.
And Donna, I don't remember her being there.
No, she wasn't in there at all. She didn't even get a name on the door. Yeah, it just said like Griff Studios or something on like the door outside of their office upstairs in Nights. So I don't know if there was just always a second office there, or if he just took half their space. I don't know how that works. Or if that's just Griff's office now.
To be fair, he's probably making better money than the others.
Well, we don't know how much Teague is paying them.
It's
'Cause
true.
obviously they don't want to be with Teague.
Yeah.
They're getting something out of
It
this
could,
relationship.
we have no idea what the relationship is with them and Teague either.
We just know Teague pays them.
At least sometimes.
Sometimes. Not this time.
Presumably. He could pay them.
He may have negotiated something with Angie after the fact.
Yeah. Well, I'm the way that Teague's been acting is he just pays them regularly on a regular basis, and so that's why he can just drive up in a car and be like, "Get it, we need you."
Yeah, he just has them on retainer.
Right.
Yeah.
He just has them on call.
I was also kind of funny because I was like wondering when I was watching the opening credits. I don't know if you've watched the opening credits that closely, but most of the shots are from episodes we've seen already at this point.
No,
And I was specifically looking at the one where they show Teague and he's yelling something. I'm like, I wonder what episode is that from.
Yeah. I have noted that. I have noted the little bits from the opening.
Yeah.
Like I wonder what bullshit they're up against in this.
Yeah.
In this
See, I thought Teague was gonna. I thought it was gonna be like some magic thing. I thought somebody was.
It looks a bit like a magic thing, doesn't it?
It looks
because it's the him yelling at the light.
Yeah. They're like, that looks like, oh no, some ritual is going off.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, it's just probably some kid dying.
It's either some kid dying or like returning to his energy form or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, which would be really annoying because it's like, wait, I thought they were like stranded here or something.
Yeah, like I said, they're real weird they're real weird and vague about the rules for these aliens in a lot of sense. Like they're like part physical, part energy.
Yeah, and they need to replenish their energy, but also maybe they become energy, but also energy can kill them.
Seems legit.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like meat, right? You eat meat to replenish it, and you're made of meat. But if you eat too much meat, you will die.
I guess. That's probably the best. That's probably the best analogy.
I think we need to leave off on that.
I mean, yeah.
I am electric bacon.
Electric.